Hare Krishna. So I'm very grateful to repeat the words of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So as we all know, that Gaur Purnima is going to come very soon. Next week is the most auspicious appearance day of Lord Gaur Sundar. So I'll speak something from Gaur Leela. So in the Gaur Leela, there was a very simple, poor Brahmana by the name Shuklambar Brahmachari. He used to live on the banks of the Ganga, and nobody knew who he was. He was so humble, nobody even knew his name, right? So, and every day he used to beg from different houses around it in the area of Navdvip. So he used to go every day to 10 houses and used to beg. And what he used to get some broken rice, which is unpolished and uncleaned, unwashed rice they used to give him. But he used to always chant the holy names of Lord Krishna, always. Whenever he used to go for begging, every day, every time, he used to constantly chant the holy names, unassuming, unpretentious, and totally humble, in the humble mood. So one day after his begging, he had this begging bag, cloth bag, where they used to put the raw rice. So after his begging, he had this raw rice which is uncleaned, unwashed, and unpolished. And there was a kirtan led by Lord Chaitanya was going on. So he joined the kirtan where Lord Chaitanya was personally present, and he was dancing so blissfully. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he saw him, he was so pleased to see him dancing. So he actually called Shuklambar Brahmachari that please come here. And what he did, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu put his hand and thrust it inside the bag where he had kept kept the rice, broken rice. So he thrust the bag inside his cloth bag and took a handful of rice and ate it. And Shuklambar Brahmachari did not believe this. He said that even I cook the rice before eating it. And Mahaprabhu has directly taken this unclean raw rice and eaten it. So the Lord liked it so much that he again thrust his hand inside the bag and took another handful of rice and ate it. Like this, he ate the entire rice. And he was so happy and he was so contented. So actually the Lord is tasting the nectar, tasting the love of the devotee. The Lord does not consider what are we offering him. He's just tasting the intention and with the heart and the love which we are offering to him. So he's Bhava Grahi Janardana, we all know that. Then the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has not written anything in his entire life. He's not written any scriptures. He's not written except for this 8 verses, which is known as Sikshashtakam. And which is the most important of all the 8 verses of Sikshashtakam is the famous verse, Junadapi Suni Chena Taru Rivasaishna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. So I wanted to speak something on this verse. Shuklambar Brahmachari was actually cultivating this mood of Trinadapi totally. So this is how we must cultivate the chanting of the holy names. Feeling oneself humble, more humble than a blade of grass, tolerant and forgiving like a tree, offering all honor and respect to others and expecting none in return. In this way, we can chant constantly. So Lord Chaitanya actually raised his arms in the air and he proclaimed very loudly that you should wear this verse on the string of the holy name and put this verse in the string of the holy name and constantly wear it like a kanti mala. So it is very difficult sometimes, personally experiencing also, to be humble, tolerant, and do not expect any fame in return. That is difficult. But when we constantly chant, this attitude actually develops. So it's like a reciprocation. The more we chant, the more we develop these qualities of humility, tolerance, and offering respects to everyone. And the more we cultivate this mood, then we can constantly chant. So it's a constant cycle which is going on, right? And Rupa Goswami has said this, that the sign of an advanced devotee is tendency to not criticize others. The sign of an advanced devotee is tendency to not criticize others. So even I have personally experienced, whenever we criticize or gossip or some other devotee or any person in general, even if he is not a devotee, we never know, he can be a devotee. So you cannot get that taste in chanting. You cannot chant properly. So the symptom of our advancement is losing our tendency to criticize others. That is another version. So in other words, basically to transcend envy and arrogance. Okay. And the doors of back to Godhead are open for all of us with this password. And what is the password for this door? Junadapi suni chena taroriva sahishtana amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. So let us chant with this mood, and with this mood we can chant constantly. And when we constantly chant, we will develop this mood. So it's a cycle of reciprocation. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Harinam Prabhu ki jai.